So today we will learn about reflections and translation in this session. So what does reflection means? Reflecting an object creates a mirror image over a specific line of reflection. So there are three common lines of reflection. One we will be reflecting along the y-axis, another one is yours x-axis, and the third one is yours y is equal to x. That will be your slant line of reflection. So as I go through the session, I will go over each and every of different lines of reflection in the session. So first of all, this is a pictorial representation of different types of reflection. So the first image over here, it is talking about your reflection across the y-axis. What happens is you will be having one image. So let me zoom in for you over here. So on my left side, this is the original image over here. This one is the original image over here. Let me write it. This is my original image, and I reflect it across the y-axis. So what I do is I will draw a line over here, line of reflection on the y-axis, and it just reflects over here. Now important thing to see over here is your original point was A. When it's reflected, it changed to A prime. So A prime we write it like this. Similarly your B, it changes to what? It changes to yours B prime. This is called B prime. This is a small apostrophe, that's your prime. And your C, it changes to C prime. And if you look over here, this is what this my A over here. So what are the coordinates for A? If I will look, my -6, and this is my 5 over here. So -6, 5, those are the coordinates for A over here. So when this image goes reflected, what are the coordinates of my A prime? That's yours +6 and your +5. So what you see, what you came across with this is only there is a change in what? The x value over here. This is yours reflection across the y-axis. What about the x-axis? Let's see x-axis over here. This is your x-axis. Okay. So first thing first, this is my original image over here. That's my original image, and I reflected it. I got the image over here. So again, your A original, this changed to what? A prime, and then your B changed to what? B prime, and C changed to what? C prime. So let's see what is the change in the coordinates of A. So right now A, the coordinates are -6, +5, and when it reflected, what it happened? My -6, but this one changed to -5. So important thing to pay attention is when you are reflecting across the x-axis, your this value y coordinate, it changes over here. Along the y-axis, what was happening? X was changing. Along the x-axis, your y value changes over here. What about the third one over here? Y is equal to x. So when we look at y equal to x, what happens is I will draw a what you call a slant line over here. This is the graph of y equal to x. So let's look at A. So what are the coordinates of point A? Mine are -6, +5. And what about A prime? When we look at A prime is your 5, and this is yours -6. So what we came across the rule over here. So rule is this. If you look over here, this is your x and y, and what has happened over here is your y became your x, and what? X became your y. So this is what happened over here in this situation. Okay, so you see over here x value, it changes to y. So these are the rules we will keep in mind. So what was the takeaway from here? Takeaway was when we reflect across the y-axis, in this situation what happens? Your x value changes. When we do the x-axis, your y value changes, and in this case x and y, they interchange their values. And I will give you the rule later on also. And I already explained to you, when the point A is reflected, it becomes A prime, and this means it is the transformed image or reflected image of point A. Let's proceed to the next slide. Please take notes wherever it is applicable. Please take notes. Now, these are the properties which are preserved when an object is reflected. What happens? Length of the segment, they do not change. Angles, they will not change. Parallel and perpendicular lines, they remain parallel and perpendicular. And midpoints, they do not change. Only thing is what happens is orientation of the letters is reversed over here. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. You can take it this for your notes. Now again, it is the same thing what I explained to you earlier, okay, and I gave you the rules over here. So these are the rules which you should keep in mind, that when you reflect across the y-axis, the x coordinates take the opposite sign and the y coordinates remain the same. So you can just take, here you go. So your rule, what is your rule over here is, you can see if it is x comma y, again it's changed to, change the opposite sign. So this means if it was like this, negative x comma y, what happened? It changes to positive x comma y. This is a rule you should keep in mind. What about this one? Again over here this says negative x comma y. What will happen over here is, okay, this is your negative, but this sign also changes. Alright, so let me change this one over here, this part over here. X changes. In this case your y, it changes your sign. And in this case what happens is, x and y, they both change their position. So this is your negative x, that's your y. But over here this becomes your x and this becomes your negative y. Alright, and I will give you the rules again when we will do some problems which are related to this concept. Okay? Because when you are working with problems which are involving reflection, you have to keep the rule in front of you. Alright? Again, what happens when the rules over here is x changes. Okay? This means x coordinate changes. In this case, what? Y changes. Just keep in mind like this. In this case, x and y, they reverse their position. Okay? They change places. Alright? If in case you are having 2 comma 5, when you change it becomes what? 5 comma 2. Let's proceed to the next one. Now, so we have learned something about reflection. Now we will go over some of these problems. What I will do is I will pause this slide for like a second, 30 seconds something, and I want you to find the answer, read these questions and find the answer, and then we will go over these problems together. Okay, so I believe you have paused the video. Now you have the answer. So it's time for us to share your answers. Okay, let's share your answer with me, then we go from there. When an object is reflected over a line, the size, now what happens over here is, we learned about reflection and these are our rules over here. What does the rule say? Rule says distance don't change, angle don't change, and nothing change over here. So what happens is, when an object is reflected over a line, the object does not change sign. Okay, so it just remains the same dimensions. This is over here. Okay, now what happens the next one over here? It says when the object is reflected over the line y equal to x, the x and y coordinates. So let's go back and check. Y equal to x is this one over. What happens in this case? X and y coordinate, what happened? They change places. I'll write it over here. They can change places or they switch places. See how our notes are coming in handy over here? Alright. Let's see the next one. When point B is reflected, the new point is referred to S. Yes, it is B prime. Or what do we call? We just write it like this, B prime. Yeah, we have done this one. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, good job. Now, you remember I told you we will need the rules whenever we are solving problems related with your reflection. So these are the rules over here. So I want you to copy these rules in your notes and use it when the need arises. Okay. Again, when we reflection over the x-axis, what happens? Only your y, it changes its sign. Alright, let's keep in mind. When it is y, this means what? X changes its sign. Y equal to x, what happens is x and y, they switch places. Y comes over here, x goes over here, you can see over here. What about y equal to negative x? It's simple. These switch places and they will change the sign. It's quite clear to you. It will change the sign. Alright, so let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, what I did is I pick one question over here and we will try to do this problem together. Graph the image of a figure using the transformation given, and it says reflection across y equal to negative x. Oh, I need my rules. Oh, Mr. Gupta gave me the rules. Also, rules are over here. Alright, so let's first of all find the coordinates. So let's write over here, this is my 1. Let me zoom in so I can write it clearly. Alright, this is my 1. Okay, I just need one over here. What about this? Okay, so, and this is my 1. So coordinates for my r are what? 1, 1. I'll write it over here. R is what? 1, 1. Alright, so there you go. Now, if in case I was, this is my x, y, 1, 1, what will happen? First of all, they will switch places. It will be 1 and 1, but they change the sign. So my new points are these over here. We are going in the right direction. Good job, people. Let's keep going. What about q? So this is my 0, that's my 1, negative 1. Alright, this is my negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Similarly, over here, this is my negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. So what are my coordinates of my q? X value is my negative 4, and this is my negative 1. So let me write it over here. X is what? Negative 4, negative 1. I want you to read the rule over here. What does the rule says? Rule says, okay, so x and y are negative. Let me erase and write it over here. Okay, in the same place we can do it. All right. So what does it say? X is my negative 4 and y is my negative 1. So if I switch it, y comes to the x place, okay, and x goes to this one. Now again, we have to change the sign. So change the sign means what? This will be plus and plus. So my new points are 1, 4. And I should change the color over here also. So this is my negative 1, negative 1. See how I am using the rules over here. Okay, that's very important. Let's go for the letter S over here. So my x value is what? That's my negative 1, negative 2. What about y value? That's my negative 3. Let's write it over here. Our coordinate points are negative 2, negative 3. And let me erase this over here so we can work it out with ours. These points also over here. Let me pick my pen. Alright. So x values are what? Negative 2, negative 3. Oops, it changed places. Let's change the places. Oh, they change the sign also. It changes to positive, changes to positive. So new signs are 3, 2. Alright, so this is my r prime, this is my q prime, this is my s prime. These are the coordinates. Okay, so now what we will do is we will just go ahead and plot these points. Okay, alright. So let me erase this so we can have like a clear view, or just keep it like this. Why to erase? R prime is negative 1, positive negative 1. So negative 1, negative 1. R prime is this one over here. What is this point? R prime. What about q prime? 1, 4. 1 is this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my what? This is my q prime. And s prime is my 1, 2, 3, and 2. This is my s prime. So let's go ahead and join these dots. I apologize in advance if my line is not a straight line. Okay, but I'm just trying my level best over here. It's just my writing pad over here. So there you go. And we got the reflected image. Yes, you see this one? So this is a reflected image, r prime, q prime, s prime. So when you are working on your worksheet and you come across these problems, or when you take a quiz, make sure you are using the formula sheet which I gave you over here. And when you are plotting your diagrams or your figures, follow the rule, and it becomes a lot more handy and it becomes easier. Alright, so that's something about reflection. Let's keep going to the next one. Now, we will also learn about translations. So what is the translation in math? Translation means slide. What does it mean? Just slide. That's it. In math, a translation moves a shape left, right, up and down, but does not turn. It just slides. The translated image or the image appear to be the same size as the original image, indicating they are congruent. So this is something to keep in mind. They are congruent shapes. Okay, they have shifted simply in one or more direction. There is no change in the shape because the shape simply moves from one location to another. The keyword to keep in mind is slide. Alright, that's the only thing you should keep in mind. Just slide, that's your translation. Please make sure you take notes. Now, what happens on the coordinate plane? Okay. Any object in the coordinate plane can be moved horizontally, left or right, or vertically up and down by translating in the coordinate plane. Okay, so this is an example over here. Alright, so what has happened over here? The quadrilateral ABCD is shifted 5 units horizontally. Horizontally means in this direction. This means x. So if in case the original point is x, new point will be x plus 5. And 1 unit vertically during the translation. If the original point is y, then vertically means it's going up over here, so it will be y plus 1. Okay, the resulting new translated function for the given figure is this, and look over here, we got this. So what is the takeaway from this is, they say if in case we are having original points x comma y, coordinate points, and if in case the condition is given that you have to translate 5 units to horizontal and 1 unit up, then your new coordinates will be x plus 5 and y plus 1. Alright. Okay, so this means if we are talking about horizontal and we are talking about up, what you do? You plus. Okay, so this was going up, but if it is horizontal down, it will be something else, or left and right. Okay, so this one. Let's go to the next. Again, I gave you the definition of translation again over here. Slides objects across the coordinate plane. An important thing to keep in mind is when an object is translated, the shape, size and orientation remains the same. Alright, these are the properties preserved when an object is translated. Segment lengths do not change, angles do not change, parallel and perpendicular lines, they remain parallel and perpendicular, and midpoint don't change. Okay. When an object is translated, the orientation, order of letter does not change. So you see over here, this is my A, that's my B, and you can see A prime and B prime. They both are parallel. Similarly, you can see this and this are parallel. This side and this side are parallel. Okay. So their orientation letter does not change. If A is over here, you still have the A prime over here. B is over here, B prime is over here. So it goes like this. So let's do some practice problems over here. Alright. So it says select a translation with the appropriate notation. I will pause the video and I want you to read this question, take your time, and 30 seconds, and then we figure out what is the correct answer. Okay, pick your choice. Alright, so I think you have the answer. Let's do it together. Okay. Alright, let's pick this color. I like this one. Alright. So first of all, I want you to look at point A over here. Okay. And this is your A prime. So we will only worry about this. So what happened on the x-axis? So it went over here 1, 2, 3. So our point A from here, it moved over here. To the right side, it is what? X plus 3. Okay. Now what happened to the y-axis? It went down over here. Minus 2 over here. So this is what? This is your y minus 2. So our answer is what? Our answer is x plus 3, y minus 2. Do you have any answer choice look like this? Yes. Option choice A is the correct answer. Okay. Alright. So again, I will explain to you what is happening over here is, if in case was not clear to you, I will again explain this to how you do it. You only look at just pick any one point. I usually like to pick point A. So my original point A is here and point A prime is over here. This is telling me where it moved. It's translated or slided to these many units over here. So 1, 2 and 3. So this means it went to the right side, x plus 3. And what happened to the y is it went down over here. So it is what? My y minus 2, and that's my answer. Let's do one more problem. Okay, again I will do the same thing. I want you to pause and then find your answer, and then we go from there. Okay, I believe you have the correct answer over here. Let's check your answer. Okay, I'm looking at my point A. Alright, and this is my point A prime. So what is happening is my A x-axis is moved to left side. So this is what? X minus 1. Okay, because move left side 1 unit. What about y? Y and it dropped down from here. again it's going down over here. This means my minus 2 over here. So answer choice is, my correct answer is x minus, oops, let me erase this over here. I just want to go, I was rushing over here, x minus 1 and y minus 2. Okay, so check, that's the correct answer. Again, I will explain to you what I did over here is, I have picked my choice of point A. You can pick any point. Let's pick point B. Okay, what happened to B over here? Another point is over here. So this means you went left side, so x minus 1 on the x-axis. What happened to y-axis? It's going down, so it's your y minus 2. What if would have gone up? Then it means y plus 2. So that's the answer choice. Let's practice one more problem. I hope it might clear the concept to you. We'll try the same approach. I want you to pause the video and then see what is your answer, and then we go from there. I like this question because the different type of question over here. Let's do this. First of all, let's pick a point. I want to pick point C this time. Okay. So what is happening with C over here? Let's talk about x-axis. What happened to x-axis? Another point is over here. So it went to the left. How many units? 2 units, x minus 2. What happened after this? Once it reached over here, it went up. So we went up over here. It is what? It is your y plus 1. You remember we went up. So this is your x minus 2 and this is your y plus 1. I will again re-explain this to you. This is a correct choice. No, that's not a correct choice. This is a correct choice. I will again explain this to you. Okay. I will pick another point if you want. Alright. If in case you feel A is always easy, you can pick A, always A. What is happening with A is, another point A prime is over here. So I need to go 2 units this way. Do keep in mind I'm going left, minus 2, and I'm going up. Up means what? Plus 1. So this is my answer choice. I hope this helps you. Okay. And so this is our end of the session for reflection and translation. Please make sure when you are working on the worksheet, you are going over this lesson again, these notes, and it will really help you. Thank you. Have a good day.